Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today there are way too many historical references that I can make for this particular Civ matchup, so I'm going to be a little bit lazy and leave it up to you, the viewer, to post any cool ones in the comments section. Not right now, of course, but after we finish watching Lewis playing as the Goths in red take on Hera playing as the Romans in blue. Now, while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and not so immediate surroundings, where is Lewis going at the 1 minute mark of the game? Let's keep an eye on this villager while we take a look at the Civ matchup we are going to be watching today. If you saw the game between these two players 2 days ago, you should expect a lot of fun things. But for now, a minute and a half in, it looks like Lewis is going to already discover where Hera's bushes are, and we'll see what he decides to do with that knowledge. He sees the rhino. In any event, we'll see what happens. Is it going to be a rhino pull? No, it's going to be a rhino lame. Remember, Goth hunters, I haven't even started the Civ description yet. They do attack on a +5, which means this rhino is going to get killed very, very quickly. Now, he leaves the last whack for the scout, which means even if Hera stumbles across this rhino, he cannot harvest any meat because the rhino will die and basically dissolve into the sands. Anyway, all right, 2 minutes into the game, we already have shenanigans abounding. The Goths, a civilization that is pretty darn one-track minded when it comes to the barracks, the Gothic barracks, and he steals. By the way, rhinos come with 400 food, I believe, and stealing a goat, although sending it back to this particular location means Hera's gonna reclaim the goat. So almost lamed 500 resources, instead laming 400 for that one rhino. Oh my goodness, I haven't even started my Civ introductions as Lewis is already antsy in the pantsy for a Vil kill. And he gets it. First kill of the game at the 3-minute 50-second mark of the game for our Goth here, who is trying to lame the, the lumber camp. This is amazing. What's the scout up to? Okay, the scout's up there. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. Let's talk about the Goths. As I mentioned, pretty much a single-minded civilization, loving, oh man, their barracks. Their barracks do start the game working 20% faster, can be upgraded to work more than 200% faster, start pumping out a good number of units. And man, oh man, can the Goths pump out a good number of units, because in Imperial Age, they do cap out at 210 population compared to the usual 200. Now, all of their infantry do get progressively cheaper until Imperial Age, when they're discounted by a massive 35%. And those very same discounted infantry units do come with a progressive attack bonus against structures, buildings. And so that makes them absolutely fantastic at taking down late game castles, walls, town centers, anything and everything they want to. Now, the Goth barracks itself can also be upgraded to train the unique unit of the Goth. I can't do this. I can't get through my intro. Now he's trapping these villagers in here. I mean, they got plenty of room to drop off the wood, I believe. Maybe not the second villager. We'll keep an eye on these lumberjacks. In any event, you can upgrade the Gothic barracks to train the unique unit of the Goths. In this particular Civ, it is the Huskarl. This is a... Oh, wait a second. Why did he open the door for Hera? In this particular case, as I mentioned, it is the Huskarl, an archer-killing infantry machine. The Huskarl comes with a big attack bonus against archers and basically base pierce armor that makes them almost immune, invincible against most archer fire in the game. Now, to support a big hungry population, the Goth hunters, as we saw, are stronger. They do attack on a +5. They carry 15 more food than normal, and their hunt lasts 20% longer. By the way, they also researched Loom in just a second, which means Lewis's villager had pretty good security, pretty good stats, and pretty good steroids to take as he marched across the map. Hera, by the way, has he even moved across the map yet? Let's take a look at Hera's vision. No, Hera hasn't even left his base yet. He has no clue what the hell kind of follow-up is going to happen here, but it looks like Lewis's villager is finally returning home as Hera now moves across the map and is going to do the exact same thing. By the way, Hera, if you didn't know, 8 minutes into the game, as both players click up to the Feudal Age, is playing as the Romans, a mixed land-based naval civilization that comes with a few very strong unit features that make them potentially very, very deadly. to start off with. Speaking of infantry in the Goths, Roman infantry gets double the effect of blacksmith armor upgrades, and they have access to the legionary. What's going on here? Oh no! Oh no! He's at 16 HP! He's at 13 HP! Oh my goodness. Oh, poetic justice here if this villager dies. He doesn't die. He survives with 6 HP. Oh my goodness. Hera circling the north of this base. In any event, the Romans do have access to the legionary. This is a tanky, well-armored, unique infantry unit that does replace their two-handed swordsmen and their champions, and comes with a pretty decent attack bonus against other infantry, which may be bad news bears for our Goth. Not to make their infantry even deadlier on the field of battle, the Romans can turn to a second unique unit, the Centurion. Wait a second. Is this that one returning villager? Oh my goodness, Hera evades the archer arrow fire from the TC. Is he going to get the villager? Is he going to get the villager? He gets the villager. Steps away from the safety of the town center. Hera returning the micro favor. First of all, dodging arrow fire over here with his scout, and then absolutely crushing that villager. Holy moly, how much HP is left on this scout? Okay, yeah, now we know Hera's going to send this guy on pretty much scouting duty. Always seems strange to say a scout is going to go out on scouting duty. I don't know why it seems strange, but that's exactly what they're built for. And oh my goodness, hero of the SPQR, or the Roman Empire, depending on which historical fantasy you like to get up to. In any event, the Romans, their infantry can be made even deadlier because they can turn to a second unique unit, the Centurion. This is a heavy cavalry unit that increases both the movement speed and the attack speed of any militia line units under its command. Will we see another clash here in the center of the map? Now, for the Romans to overwhelm their opponents on the field of battle, they can actually upgrade their entire militia line, their entire knight line, and their Centurions to not only train 50% faster, but also come with a +5 freaking charge attack. All of those units, by the way, coming with a +5 charge attack. Hera gets a third kill, kills the spearman, which means these Gothic scouts no longer have a protective unit around them, so they're going to have to be a little bit more careful. Now to back up their militia line units, their Centurions, their super duper fun army, the Romans have access to one of the deadliest scorpions in the game. One that was recently, unfortunately for the Romans, made a little bit less unique. Now, they still do cost a lot less gold, thanks Schlachter privileges, but for... Oh my god. Lewis isn't done. Thanks Schlachter privileges, but for scorpions, so instead of 75 gold, they cost 30 gold. Their minimum range is lowered from 2 to 1. Lewis being so annoying. And they can be upgraded to attack 33% faster than normal. Now, it used to be, up until a few days ago, that the Roman Scorpion was the only Scorpion that benefited from ballistics, but thank you to the developers, that is no longer the case. Every Scorpion in the game now benefits from ballistics, which means that is no longer a unique feature of the Romans. And by the way, am I the only one upset that they didn't replace that with a different bonus or feature? They just removed it. Like cutting off a wart. They just sliced it right off the Roman roster, and they didn't really replace it with anything. Anyway, I'm a little bit salty about that. I'm not a fan of just removing something from the Romans, especially something like that where I don't think, I mean, this is all anecdotal, but I don't think I've ever seen a pro player really win a game with ballistic scorpions for the Romans. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. I don't think that was ever a decisive factor. So was it really that big of a bonus that you had to cut it off without replacing it? In any event, I'm going to stop ranting. The last thing I'll say about the Romans is, like the Gothic hunters who hunt better. Ah, come on. Base is not plugged in, walled in, plugged out, whatever the hell you want to call it. My English, not so good. But does save the berry pickers, does our Goth. In any event, Roman villagers, not these red ones, but the blue ones, they do work a little bit more efficiently than other villagers, since they do construct buildings, repair buildings, and also gather resources 5% faster. Well, I don't know who had it in their bingo card that I would finish my Civ introduction at the 16.5-minute mark of the game, but here we are, 3 kills to 1. Both players have killed a villager. Lewis denying his opponent a little bit of food. I shouldn't say a little bit, a lot of food in the beginning of the game, trying to deny some lumberjacking, did manage to get a villager, then plop down a bunch of, I guess, spy infrastructure. Not a bad little line of sight here for these structures. Then the villager, oh my goodness, you could make a short out of it, made the arduous long journey all the way home. He even managed to take down a lion. How Greek epic poem of him, like Odysseus returning from Troy, facing all of these things, except unlike Odysseus, who actually made it home, this villager died literally on the steps of the town center. And how epic and how sour and how amazing has this game been so far. Revenge is a dish best served, and I'll let you finish that. Is it going to be warm? With the last game being played 2 days ago between these two players, I mean, I'm going to do a spoiler alert, spoiler whatever. If you don't know how the game went 2 days ago, plug up your ears for the next 20, 30 seconds. You ready? Here we go. So, Lewis, aggression from minute, what was it, 9, 10 of the game, took absolute control of the map, and Hera's not walled into the rear. And Hera not being walled in means he loses 2 more villagers. Our Goth takes a 6 villager lead. They're both going up to Castle Age at the exact same time. But our Goth again has a 6 villager lead, even though Lewis has taken an extra 20 seconds of TC idle time. In any event, we'll see if revenge for Hera is a dish best served warm or cold. I think the expression is cold, but I don't know if 2 days in Age of Empires and a dozen or so games in the interim count as a cold or a warm. But in any event, will Hera give up map control again? Will he give up the relics again? We saw Lewis basically get gifted Frankish Cavaliers, Frankish Paladins for free with the amount of map control that he had, and getting all of the relics that he got basically paid for his war machine. So we'll see if Hera decides to do the exact same thing, or if Hera decides to play a little bit differently. He's not the #1 best player in the world at the moment because he is not in any event versatile. And so let's see what he can get accomplished here. House Foundation keeping this Gothic army out for a little bit until it can no longer penetrate through the rear house. Where is this one spearman? Okay, so Hera's one spearman with 1 HP is hanging out in the middle of the map. And again, both players hitting Castle Age at the exact same time. Wacka, wacka, wacka. Go these Gothic scouts who are now getting armor upgrades because our Goth is starting to pump out a knight. Hera going cavalry archer. Okay, yeah, definitely bow saw, husbandry, and fletching. Now the Roman cavalry archer. What do I want to say about that? If you want to make an all-in Castle Age push, it's not a terrible cav archer. I think the only thing it's missing is thumb ring. Yeah, it's only missing thumb ring. In Imperial Age, it does miss Parthian tactics, and it also doesn't get Bracer, the last attack upgrade. So either this is going to be an all-in Castle Age cav archer push from Hera, who says, you know what? Scorpions are real nice and cool. Everyone's going to be playing with the Scorpions as if they're the new sexy unit. But I'm going to stick to the same meta that's been going around the old bend for the last, let's say, month and a half, and just go cav archers again. It's so far so good for Hera, who takes a 12-6 kill lead. In addition to picking off some trash spearmen, is starting to pick off some gold units as well. That being said, our Goth does have 5 knights. Bit of a scout party happening here in the northern portion of the map. Doesn't look like Lewis's scouts are at all interested in fighting back living. Now, are we going to get to see the classic trope of heavy cavalry versus lighter cavalry archer? I love that Hera is leading these 2 knights around on a merry little, or this one knight around on a merry little chase with his 2 weaker cav archers, while the other ones pepper him full of arrows. Second TC going up for our Roman, who is under attack, but Hera, quick with the fingers, is already walling behind this. A second TC already up for our Goth to the rear of the base. Looks like another Feudal Age archer, another one, and another one. Do bite the dust. Hera's kill lead is expanding. Lewis has now killed 4 villagers to 1, but on the whole, his total kill count is a third. 1 HP spearman facing off against 42 HP knight. I guess based on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, this knight has figured out the meaning of life. And so I guess the meaning of life is hang around the center of a desert and hope that you don't get called up for army duty, as Hera tries but fails to wall in these knights. That would have been a fantastic get. What's their HP? Ooh, he would have gotten 3 full health knights there. He's got a bit of a scout force to the north. He needs to heal some of these units. And here we go. Scorpions are out for our Goth. Knight closes. Hera's maneuvering with these units is so great. He gets one of the 2 Scorpions, but the bolt, I think, of the surviving Scorpion does pierce the back of that Knight's head. Down goes the Knight. Up goes a 3rd TC, as a 3rd TC is already up for our Roman. Hera is now down 7 villagers. Lewis isn't really training any more villagers, so Hera should be able to catch up fairly quickly. And again, this line of sight from these palisades is surprisingly juicy here to the rear of the base. But for now, not too much ado-ing as Hera retreats home. It looks like he might take a bit of the long route with these scouts. Will he upgrade them to light cavalry? Not exactly the Poles with their new 50% food discount. Not that the light cavalry upgrade is that expensive. I think it's on the whole 200 resources. And I think it's only 150 food, 50 gold. Yeah, 150 food, 50 gold. So the Poles now only pay 75 food, 50 gold. But this might not be a bad upgrade for Hera to get, especially if he's going to babysit them. And Hera loves to babysit his units. I've said this before. He is the master of babysitting his units, healing them up, and sending them out to fight again, whereas Lewis, his army, needs a little bit of loving as well. He's got 2 monks out. Relic count 0 to 0. Outposts with that big booming sound when you click on them are starting to go up. And our Goth is moving forward yet again. Scorpions do come with a +2 attack bonus against buildings. Might want to put them here on the high ground to maybe maximize a little bit more of their damage. It is not a bad damage at a 12 attack. Villager lead has dropped to 3 or 4, depending on when your eyes look up at the screen. Hera moves in, takes a bunch of crossbow bolts, but Lewis doesn't have ballistics. He's got the resources for it, the 300 wood and the gold, 175 gold. Hera closes in, 1 monk down, 2nd monk down. How did he not lose a single? Okay, now he's starting to lose them, but how the hell did he not lose a single cavalry archer earlier on in this engagement? And for a 2nd time, the Scorpions are getting sniped. 1 knight is heading off to the right, but the town center does pick him off. As the remaining knights here, another villager kill for Lewis. Monk, did he get a conversion? No, he didn't. And so that attack from Lewis looked very scary, made a lot of noise, but ultimately fell flat on its face, as Lewis lost basically his entire army. Retreats are for other people, says our Goth, as he basically sacrifices his entire army. But he is returning home with a 2nd relic. He's already got 1. Do I see any other relics being got here? Oh my goodness. I'm going to zoom out. Look at Lewis's line of sight. The north with outposts, the south about to get got with outposts. Absolutely epic gameplay out of Lewis. Win or lose, so far this has been an absolute treasure of a game to watch, literally from minute number 2. I wonder if Lewis did the Rhino lane just because he was playing as the Goths and they do attack with that +5. By the way, Hera is going to discover very quickly that he is being lured into a castle on the high ground, but again manages to snipe a monk and again escapes unharmed. What the hell? Do these units have personal Dune-like devices on them that makes them invincible from any kind of attack? What is going on with Hera's units? Or is it just the fact that he constantly keeps healing them up over and over and over again? This castle has 1 kill. That 1 cav archer that's strayed in too far. And now it is the Goths' turn to be put on massive defense as a huge army shows up here. Hera's army count Uncontrollable, 42-9. Town center is full. No more room at the inn for these villagers who are absolutely getting slaughtered. And in the blink of an eye, Hera went from 1 villager kill to 8 to 9. Emergency castle going up to the rear of the base here. That should be able to stop a little bit of this. 12 villager kills. 13, 14. Huskarls are coming out. Not exactly the greatest unit against knights. Decent attack, but that's pretty much all you're getting with that unit. Again, I mean, against knights, obviously. Against archer units, that's not all you're getting with that unit. And look at that. In literally, what was it, a minute and a half? Hera kills 14 villagers, and now he's circling. The Gothic villager lead has just been absolutely reset. Lewis has no army. Lewis has no chance. And Lewis GG's, and Hera gets his revenge. And I don't know, again, in the world of Age of Empires, is 2 days and dozens of games considered a cold or a hot revenge? I'll leave it up to you. But holy moly, Lewis, did you really need to throw away your entire army over here to get accomplished what? To get what? That's not how you say that sentence. To get what accomplished? Again, Hera, just the master of babysitting units, healing his units again and again, taking down outposts is our Roman, blinding the Goth, although that's blinding with a little b, seeing as how many freaking outposts our Goth has put up. Oh my god, can you imagine if these were Ethiopian outposts and add another 3 line of sight in each direction? But Lewis getting 2 relics, not bad at all, but neglecting his army to do so, throwing away his massive army here, while Hera, basically, I kind of want to see that battle again, because let's take a look at the stats, and then I kind of want to see that battle again. I want to see how much he really accomplished there, and whether or not throwing away that army was a decisive factor in the 10 times bigger army that our Roman has. Absolutely crazy. We're not an Imperial. There's no committed tensies. This army doesn't train 50% faster, these Nightline units. And so this must have been that. It must have been that battle, right? We'll take a quick look at the stats, and then we'll hop right back. 19 knights to 24, 30 cav archers, 6 scorpions. Didn't do a whole lot. Again, if he had just gotten ballistics, maybe they could have done a bit better. I'm a little surprised that he GG's with 2 castles, but having lost, like I said, now he's up to 15 villager kills. 2 minutes ago, everything was hunky-dory here in the Gothic settlement. He was nice and safe. Of course, with the Goth, you're never really safe because you don't get stone walls. You only have palisades, and unlike the Cumans, they come with no extra HP. These are just basic 250 HP palisade walls. But literally 2 minutes ago, 2 in-game minutes, so like a minute and a half ago in real time, everything was fine. The Gothic economic engine was full steam ahead, and all of a sudden Hera busts in through 1 frickin' tile. Forget the rest, shoves in his army. The inn is full. Not too sure why the other villagers just stood about doing absolutely nothing here. Maybe they could have been sent to help build the castle. Maybe they could have been sent running around, but they kind of just stood there. They got slaughtered. Then they ran south. They ran north. They got slaughtered there as well. And even though it looks like maybe Hera can't really accomplish too much more with this big castle here, what he is accomplishing is laming all of this farming, laming potentially. He has Bodkin, right? So he has 6 range, laming potentially the stone mining, and then laming all of the resource gathering, especially. And this is not an army with bloodlines that you should be afraid to run through a town center. So he's going to run through here, and he's going to run back out, and he's continuing to apply pressure. But wow, what a fun game. Lately, the games have been a little bit shorter than usual, but on average, but there's been a lot of action. All of the resources except stone going for Hera, and our Goth, obviously, with 2 castles, needed the stone. Even with 2 relics, didn't get them too long ago, so about 2,300 gold more for our Roman, who, again, remember, gathers resources 5% faster. Food basically the same, wood basically the same. 2 conversions to 1. Nobody destroyed anything. I guess it doesn't count palisade walls as raises, but at the end of the day, 59 kills to 33. And I need to go back. We're going to do one last thing here and go back to this battle because, again, I don't know what the hell. I mean, Hera, look, he's ahead army count here nonetheless. He still had 10 army count. Now remember, 6 of that is in scouts that are basically dead who are doing nothing. So the army counts are not as dissimilar as they would appear. Let's see what's going on here. Let's cut out the villagers. Yeah, 9 knights to 3. That's not bad. 3 scorpions. Maybe with ballistics, they could have done a better job against these Roman cav archers. Should I include the monks? Yeah, let's include the monks. Why the hell not? 2 monks apiece. Put on slow-mo. Let's see if Lewis gets the conversions. No, the monks run out of the range. Now Hera tries to convert a monk. It leaves the scorpions exposed, but the knights know better. That is a one-way trip for them, so Hera saves them. Cav archers move forward. This is where he snipes the monks. By the way, behind this, defender's advantage to Hera, who is just streaming in more and more units. I don't see a single red unit. Oh, pardon me. I see a single red unit streaming across the map. Okay, Hera's units are lining up to get a bunch of crossbow bolts, a bunch of scorpion bolts to the face. Now, there is one extra villager kill here. The last of the scorpions does fall. So I'm doing this at half speed so we can kind of see what the hell is happening. There's another knight here for red. There's another knight here for blue. Okay, and this, I believe, should be the last of the 3 knights. The one to the right is going to get got right now. Okay. So never mind. Hera lost 3 villagers. Okay, so the battle is over. 10 dead cav archers and a dead knight to 11 dead knights, 3 scorpions, and 2 monks. I mean, that's it's not a lot of gold versus a lot of gold. I don't know what else to say. I guess you should add those 3 dead villagers here as well. So not the worst of engagements, not the best of engagements, kind of a middle of the road. I think overall benefiting Hera a lot more, obviously with defender's advantage with 2 town centers. He lost fewer units, and the units that he lost do cost less gold than the units that are Goth lost. But look at the Goth's army count, 5. Since this moment, he just couldn't react. He couldn't replenish his army. And Hera, in the meantime, is healing his army. Look at their HP going back up very quickly. And then he sends them out, and the rest is history. Literally 2 minutes before the game is over, he's at 1 villager kill. He ends it on 15. And Hera babysitting, healing his units, taking the better engagement here. And Lewis just sacrificing his entire army. In the last 2 minutes has managed to climb back only 2 or 3 army count. He was very focused on getting the castle up, and very focused. 9 villagers he's training right now as he's got the Roman army bearing down on him. He's seen the knights moving here. He's seen the knights moving here with the castle. And at the moment, the priority is villagers. And he's not even... This town center has been preemptively filled with villagers. I guess he was afraid of... the cav archers killing the villagers here. Instead, Hera's focusing on the palisade gate. And so those villagers that could have built a house behind this, maybe sacrificing their lives, of course, for the greater Gothic good, they were stuck inside the town center. And what an absolute epic game out of both players. I mean, minute 1, rhino laming, villager kill, running around the map, killing the lion, dying. Again, I can't get over this. Dying mere steps before hitting the town center. And then since then, it's just been bloody mess of a game. Lewis abusing the fact that Hera didn't wall this in to get a bunch more villager kills here. And then Hera just absolutely putting the pedal to the metal, ramping up his army count, taking an amazing, let's say good with a capital G. It's between good and amazing, the engagement here. He still did lose a whole bunch of cav archers. These are full price. These are not exactly Hunnic cav archers. And unfortunately, Lewis just not able to get his army count back up. His military industrial complex is a little lackluster. 2 stables, an archery range, a barracks, and a single siege workshop. and a castle. Let's not ignore the castle that is halfway through pumping out a Huskarl as one already enters. But no upgrades for him at all. Meanwhile, Hera's got ranged upgrades. He's got melee upgrades. He's got upgrades up the wazoo. And with those upgrades, with the better battles, and with the absolute decimation and slaughter of Gothic villagers, it is our Roman Hera in blue who gets revenge on Lewis, takes the W, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.